I think it's very important for us women to know that we can do anything we set our mind to, anything. And for me, when I started doing the show and everything, I felt like I became somewhat of a role model to the younger children because I didn't even really know what was happening. You know, I was like, wow, I didn't know that had such an impact on people.
Welcome to the Woman Angler and Adventurer podcast, inspiring real women with a passion for fishing and the outdoors to go get their adventure on. Now, here's your host, Master Captain Angie Scott.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Woman Angler and Adventurer podcast. I'm so excited for this virtual in-person interview today. Becca's not with me in person, but virtually. She's in South Carolina. I'm in Nashville. And we just have, incredible guests, Becca Bowen, country music artist, outdoorswoman, and For Lover Likes champion.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I've been so excited about this interview all week. It's so nice to see somebody else who enjoys the outdoors as much as I do.
Yeah. Sad. That's what I love about this podcast is all the people I get to meet and talk to and share a like passion with other people and kind of get insights from your own journey and story. And, you're a whole mix of glam and grit, as they say. How do you define yourself these days with, everything that you have going on now in country music and beyond, in the outdoors and beyond?
I've always said, through this entire journey of the music industry, that I just need to stay true to myself. And I am just a country Southern woman that just loves to be outdoors, like we were talking about earlier. And, you can take the girl to the city, but you can't take whatever the saying is.
Yeah.
You can't take the country out of the girl. It's just, I am who I am and I'll stay that way. And it's nice, though, to be able to incorporate the outdoors and singing in my career, which is so cool. I mean, who gets to do that? That's so much fun that one day I could be singing and the next day I could be doing a fishing tournament or something. You know how cool that is?
Yeah.
I really have enjoyed this. I've just stayed true to myself and I will continue to do that.
I love that. And that's one of my favorite things, my background being in the music business and then doing this podcast. I have come across a few others, not a lot, but there's a few other ladies out there that are just really passionate about fishing and hunting and outdoors stuff.
Yeah.
Also,
girl, that's where I find my peace. I have to have that. I just go out there and when I'm hunting or fishing, I'm out there with God, I'm reflecting on my week and things that I could change about myself and just praying. That is where I just spend my time, reflecting. It truly is. I love it.
Yeah. And you need that outlet. Everybody needs some kind of outlet, especially in your line of work. It's not easy. It's a lot of work building a career and all the, things and commitments and so to have that escape, I'm sure does a lot.
Stressful. And you know about it because you were in the music industry. It's a very stressful type of industry to be in. So if you can get a break and get away and just enjoy the outdoors, that's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about your background a little bit. Let's start off with the whole reality TV roots.
Oh gosh, okay.
For Lover Likes, as I mentioned earlier, what was that experience like, and how did it kind of shape where you're at today?
That show really tested me. I'm not gonna lie, it really did. Because we had the whole show was about multiple women who go on the show to prove that they're not just faking this on Instagram or on socials, that this is their lifestyle, this is what they do, and that they love it. So man, they gave us so many challenges and I was always, the reason I won that show, I'll tell you, I am such a driven and determined person. I did everything kind of off the grid, because my brother and I, we hunt so much together and he has taught me everything I know. And so I would be the first one up in the morning. I would be the last one back from the stand in the afternoon. And I, would try to just, I wouldn't just like go to any stand that was out there. I wanted to see their activity and, where the deer were going. And I was looking at those deer trail cams. So I was so serious about it that, my goodness, it was like hard work paid off. I don't care if you're fishing, hunting, or singing. If you put all you have into it, you're going to do very well at it. So, it did. It tested me because I was exhausted. And then there was a lot of women there. It's a lot of estrogen in one place. If you can imagine. But thankfully, goodness, everybody was so sweet and nice that it turned out great. I think we're just all so exhausted.
Well, there's not a lot of people out there that, I call them the one percenters, like the people that are really willing to, put in all the effort that it takes and to be that driven. So kudos to you
Well,
for
thank you. Like if
doing
I
that.
want something, I'm gonna get it. I went there and I'm
Yep.
like, I'm gonna win this show. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna win it. And I did. I was
Well,
like, hell or high water, I'm winning this show.
congratulations.
Thank
So
you.
you mentioned your brother just real quick.
Oh,
Is he an older brother or?
yeah, I'm the
Okay.
baby. He's the older brother. And when I say that man taught me everything, my grandpa, I started fishing with my grandpa. So, and believe it or not, we would go out and just fish at our pond with a cane pole. That's all we fished was the cane pole and worms. Like that was it. And we caught some big fish like that. And then, once my brother, saw that, I love fishing and everything, and he started really teaching me about fishing. And then of course, I feel like it's his goal in life to make sure I'm taken care of. I know what I'm doing, like I'm protected because he was always so worried about something happened to me in the woods or on the water. So he's always usually around. And like I said, he's taught me everything I know. So I think some guys sometimes are a little shocked at what I do know, but I'm like, yeah, my brother is my brother. He taught me everything.
Well, yeah, it's so important, especially as a female trying to learn. It's a male dominated space.
It is. And
It-
you have to have a mentor. Like
yeah,
I had to have a mentor. I couldn't just go out there and know what to do. Like, so I was very thankful that my brother kind of took on his baby sister and was like, okay, all right, let me go teach you what I know. Let's go. And he wasn't always easy with me. I will say that. He would, he put me in some situations to teach me lessons for myself. And a lot of those lessons in the woods became life lessons. So thankful for that.
very cool. Well, it's cool to know that you're the real deal, as you proved on that show. And
Thank
there are a lot of people out there, unfortunately, who maybe not so much. So, and that's who we like to feature on the show is the ones that are the real role models,
thank you.
really getting out there and going after it. And, do you feel like that show maybe helped you gain some
Oh,
respect?
absolutely. I will say what you were talking about being a woman in a male dominated industry, like hunting or fishing industry, like I was looked upon, like I think they judged the book by the cover before they got to know me. And so I had a lot of people saying, oh, she's fake. She doesn't really do this. She's just posing with, a deer or a fish, it was like that. And I was so thankful for the show because once you watch the show, people were like, oh my gosh, this girl is such a redneck. Like this, this is real. Like she really gets down and dirty and, and does not care. Like, but that comes from, like I said, having to follow and hang out with my brother who's older. I had to keep up with him. But thankfully for that show, it made a huge difference. And I think a lot of the people kind of laid off of me a little bit like, okay, she proved herself. She really can hunt. We're going to leave her alone now. So I was like, thank you, God, for that.
Yeah.
So we are thankful for the Outdoor Channel.
So why do you think it might be important for other women to see examples of like people like you who are the real deal?
I think that when women start hunting or fishing, just like I said, it's a very intimidating thing. It is male dominated. And I think it's very important for us women to know that we can do anything we set our mind to, anything. And for me, when I started doing the show and everything, I felt like I became somewhat of a role model to the younger children because I didn't even really know what was happening. I was like, wow, I didn't know that that had such an impact on people. I would be out and like one time this man brought his daughter to see me and she couldn't have been any more 6 years old. And he was like, I just want to say thank you. My daughter saw you on the show. And ever since she saw you, she really has taken a liking to the outdoors. And I just want to say thank you. She's like, he said, like she was saying, it taught her she could play with her Barbies, but she also could get down and dirty, in the woods. And I was like, gosh, this is so cool. So I think it's important to know that don't let anything stop you. Get out. It's fun. Like I said, being in outdoors is so much fun because it's not just about who cares if you get the biggest fish that day or you don't see anything big enough to shoot that day. It's really about family memories. It's about making memories and gosh, having those memories to look back on for years. Like that's what life's about. It's more about just living life to the fullest. And that's what I would encourage women to, just get out there, try it. You are going to fail. You are. Like it's a learning experience. But man, when you start enjoying life, like you start living to your fullest. And that's what life's about. It really is.
And it's one of the most, places or arenas where you can just really be fully present in the moment. And a lot of times with all the distractions that we have, I know when I'm out fishing, I'm really not thinking about anything else. I'm waiting for that little, sensitive, like little bite, and ready to set the hook or whatever it may be. So,
And, like fishing definitely teaches you patience and like that you can take that patience and put it into your life of whatever you do in your career and everything. So, that's why I said it's taught me hunting and fishing has taught me a lot of life lessons about just being patient.
mhm.
Because if you're patient and you just keep waiting and waiting, like the prize is there. It's there. It's going to come one day. You just have to be patient and wait. And like I said, I hunted for years before I got a big buck. So like I said, uh, just have patience and continue on and put that into your regular life because the prize will come. The
Yeah.
prize will come. Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah. And sometimes, say you go out fishing or hunting and you don't have any success, you can almost learn more from those experiences than the experiences where you do go out and have success. There's lessons to be learned all the time when
Oh,
you're out there.
absolutely. That's what I was saying. I've learned about failure. I have failure out there and how to get over failing and then overcoming that failure because, the line would break or my gosh, one time I forgot to even load my rifle. I kid you not. And this huge buck comes out. I'm like, do you like, but that's a lesson, to stop, pay attention, be patient, make sure you have all your ducks in a row before you go do anything in life. But yeah, like I've had some, but we all have, we all get out there and like, oh my gosh, I forgot my tackle box. How the heck did I do that? Just,
Oh, yeah.
it is what it is.
Well, very cool. Let's shift gears just a little bit because I wanna be able to cover everything here as much as we can, of course. But country music, obviously, you've had some pretty big milestones already in your career. You've hit some really big stages, including Whiskey Jam, Bridgestone Arena. Do you have a moment that kind of stands out for you right now as kind of like a pinch me experience?
I'll be honest, the Bridgestone Arena was such a pinch me moment. Nobody told me that Keith Urban was going to be there. And then right time they introduced me, there's Keith Urban just sitting in the box, waving. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I mean, this arena holds thousands and thousands of people. And we were here to play for the Music City Showdown. And I'm telling you, I do get nervous no matter where I'm at, but this kind of nervousness was like no other nervousness I've ever experienced in my life. But I walked out and I was just like, whoo, like, it. It's like it's that moment where all your hard work is paid off. And things are shifting. Things are shifting for your success to reach that next level. And Bridgestone Arena absolutely was that for me.
Yeah, very cool. Been there many times, and yeah, that is a very big arena. It's that's pretty
When I
cool.
first got to Nashville, I remember just walking around the Bridgestone Arena, like literally walking around and just praying, God, I hope one day that you will let me be here, the Bridgestone Arena. I literally was like just praying about it and talking to God about Bridgestone Arena. Just I'm manifesting this today. And my gosh, years later, I'm literally walking up to that stage. Is that not crazy? So, like, if you want something, just speak it into
Yeah,
existence. Talk to God about it. I think our words are very powerful. What you say can happen if you really believe it.
100% subscribe to that. So that's awesome, and one of those moments that I'm sure gives you chill bumps.
Oh, yes. Just talking about it, I got chills.
Hearing you talk about it, I got chill bumps. So your debut album, Like You've Never Been Loved, features songs from some incredible writers like Lee Bryce. What did that project mean to you personally?
That project was incredible because that was like the first time that I felt like really respected as an artist. And, I wasn't singing at writers' rounds anymore. Like this, it became real, like, wow, these people actually want to work with me. They want me to sing their music. And then after that, I started writing, I've always written my own music, but I was never okay with just putting it out there because it's very vulnerable stuff. Because a lot of the things I write about are going to be about what I went through or heartbreak and stuff like that. But finally, I thought, well, after Like You've Never Been Loved, I would face that fear and put that music out that I've written. And that was probably the breaking point, like the point in my career where I did reach the next level when I put my own heart on the line and put my own words out there, my own melodies, and people really started connecting with me, on a different level. And that changed my life. So County Line that came after that, the EP County Line, that's what truly changed my career for the better. And I'm so glad that I finally faced that fear and put that music out. But I haven't looked back since. I really haven't. I've just been just going at it. That's why I'm so tired.
Well, you have some pretty big excitement coming up here real soon. A new single dropping on May 2nd, which is just days away now. Betting on You.
Yes,
Um,
so
what
excited.
what inspired that song, and what can listeners expect?
So I wrote this song with my guitar player Sam Woods, and I had this idea about just like when you see somebody that you really want the chance to be with, you do sometimes I will come on a little strong. I'm like, I'm betting on this love. I want a chance for this. And when we started writing this song, I was like, oh my gosh, let's do this like if we were playing a game of poker. Like, all the cards are stacked high. I'm not going anywhere. And I got, maybe I got an ace up my sleeve or whatever. I have tricks and I'm going to get your love because I'm betting on you. And, we just kind of ran with that idea. And I love this song because to me, it's like a 90s country, just get up and line dance type of song. And just the comparison between betting on love and betting on a game, like it is pretty cool. So I'm kind of proud of this song and I can't wait for everybody to hear this. And of course it shows my real sassy Southern side. So I think everybody's gonna absolutely love it. They never know. You never know what's going to come out my mouth or what song I'm going to put out because I am a quirky, crazy girl. I'll tell you that.
Well, everybody be looking forward to that May 2nd. Look it up. Becca Bowen Betting on You. So check that out. Can't wait to hear it. You've also got some pretty exciting things coming up here. The Nashville Universe Writers Round at the Greenlight, May 13th.
Yes,
Um,
and that will be at the CMA Fest too, so which that will be huge. Um, uh, Down there at in Nashville, it's like the biggest week for country music artists, the biggest week. So if you're there at CMA Fest, I will be there as well. signing autographs and talking to people, and it's a great time to come down there and just if you ever want a chance to like really get to know the artists that you listen to on the radio that you love, this is the week to do that. You literally get to talk to them, take pictures, and get to know them. It's really cool week. So I'm excited about the CMA Fest, and then I have been in the studio, just working my butt off. I'll say that. We have been writing music like crazy. Me and my producer Sal Oliveri. He's worked with Chris Stapleton and some other huge artist, and I am absolutely so excited for the new music that will come out soon. I think, I want this upcoming music that I'm putting out after Betting on You is going to be much more vulnerable again. I want to go back to like my real country roots. I want people to know how I grew up, about my grandpa, and just, and about the outdoors and things like that. I want people to know what made me who I am today. And I think that that's going to be very eye opening to people who really want to get to know like the real Becca. So that is so exciting to me that I'm just like, that's why I said I have to learn patience, and fishing teaches me that in hunting, because I want it done like tomorrow. Like I want it put out tomorrow, and they're like, "No, you got to be patient." Okay, all right. So, lessons learned. I'm
Well,
patient.
we'll be looking forward to that as well. I think that's what, fans and listeners really resonate with. They want to hear that vulnerable, like authentic, it's relatable, I'm sure, to a lot of people.
I'll
So
be telling a lot of stories through those songs as well about learning to fish and being with my grandpa, things like that. So,
yeah,
I think people are really going to like this side. So I'm excited.
very cool. All right. Well, we are going to start wrapping this up here. I have some kind of rapid fire questions for you, but I'm be
Okay.
curious, but just to hear your responses. No pressure.
All right.
This is being recorded, so we.
I'm just going off.
But all right, here we go. What would be your dream outdoor destination right now?
Oh gosh. To be honest with you, I would love to go back to Louisiana and go hunt there without being in a competition. I would like to actually go there and just take in everything instead of like competing. I want to redo to just go there, sit there, and just take all that in. That would be amazing to do. So right now, let's be realistic. That's where I would like to go,
Okay.
just to be able to take all that in, because it was beautiful. I had an absolutely amazing time. So I'd love to go back there.
Awesome. I can relate to that because I've been last few years tournament fishing and traveling and getting to visit all these beautiful lakes. Like one of the most beautiful ones was Lake Chattooga
Oh
in
wow.
the North Georgia mountains. And but we were preparing and getting ready and then fishing a tournament. I would love to just go back there and really kind of relax and just kind of fun fish and take in all the scenery and
Take it in.
yeah. And here lately too, I've been thinking I really just want to go out back to my roots, get a bobber, go out there, throw a worm, and just
Yes.
just do some bobber fishing.
I know we do that all the time. That's my favorite kind of fishing. It is.
All right, here's probably a tough one. I think it would be tough for me to answer, but bucket list duet partner.
Ooh, I bought Dolly Parton.
I almost knew
Like,
you were
tell
going to
me
say that.
all the way.
Absolutely.
My God, I have had the chance to meet her before, and she was just the sweetest person ever. What you see is the real deal. What you see is Dolly.
Yeah.
She's outspoken. She's beautiful. She's funny. Oh my gosh. So if I could have a duet, I would absolutely love to duet a song with Dolly Parton.
Don't blame you. All right, here's a fun one. Favorite snack on a hunting trip or
Uh,
backstage?
well, on a hunting trip, it's going to be a honey bun and a Mountain Dew. That is our go-to. Me and my brother's go-to for sure. Um, Always on the road though. If I'm singing, it's going to be gummy bears. I have to have gummy bears before a show. Like everybody knows, it's funny because my my musical director of the band, he always brings gummy bears because he says I get hangry. So,
Have you ever had the gummy bears from Sprouts?
I haven't had those.
I hear they are the best. I'm not a big gummy bear fan myself,
Okay.
but the people that I know that like gummy bears, they're like Sprouts has the very best.
Well, I'm gonna try it then. I'm gonna have to try that. I'm just getting the cheap ones from the gas station. You know?
Just, yeah, someday when you're around Sprouts, just go in there, get a little baggie of
I
gummy
will.
bears and let me know what you think.
How they are.
All right, last one. What's one thing you always pack before hitting the woods?
Oh, let me think about this one. Well, I always, which is funny that I always pack a honey bun and Mountain Dew.
Right.
But other than my honey bun and Mountain Dew, I will always make sure I have a flashlight
Yeah.
because you do not want to get stuck in the woods once that sun goes down without a flashlight. And my gosh, I have done that, and I have got lost in the woods. And let's just say I've definitely learned my lesson. And thank God my brother was down at the other stand. But I will always have a flashlight and always check and make sure there's batteries in that flashlight that is not dead.
Yes. Very good advice.
Yeah.
Well, Becca, you're such an inspiration for women who want to chase their dreams and stay true to who they are. So thank you for spending some time with us. Where can people follow along with your journey and support your music and your outdoor adventures?
Well, thank you so much again for having me on the show. Like I said, I was so excited about this. But if anybody's listening and they want to go follow me, of course, I have my website is beccabowenmusic.com. And, I'm on Instagram, Becca_Bowen_, Facebook, Becca Bowen Music. You Google me, you're going to find me, and you will. There are definitely videos out there from the show for Lover Lights, the outdoor channel. They still run those on the outdoor channel as well, so you can catch a peek of me there. But if you just Google me, you're going to find all that hunting stuff and fishing things that you'll love to see. And bands in town, if you follow that, you can follow my tour schedule. So
very cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I know our listeners are going to really enjoy this, hearing your story. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.